to secure your matchers. We're going to wait a minute and allow a couple more people to come online. But until then, feel free to send questions and comments. Right on the top left of your page, you have the ability to write in questions, and I will try and address all of your questions one at a time right when I finish today's webinar. Okay. If you don't mind to close your microphones, to mute yourselves, to make it easier for those who are on the call to hear me. Okay, and we are ready to roll. So here we go. Guys, I want to start off with a very important idea. Essentially, the magic of Charidy, one of our very strong selling points is, I would say, what really differentiates us from all other crowdfunding platforms that already exist. There's close to 500 different crowdfunding platforms on the internet. Some very famous ones you may have heard of, from Indiegogo, GoFundMe, Kickstarter, many very well-known crowdfunding platforms. What really caused us, what forced us to build Charidy, was we noticed how non-for-profits were failing in the crowdfunding space. And we were looking to see what is it that, why are non-for-profits lagging behind? Why aren't they seeing as many successful campaigns as creative projects? So one of the essential things we integrated into our charity campaigns is matchers. And today's webinar, we're going to focus on the magic behind the matchers and why every campaign is essentially built off these great pillars. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and we're going to go through all the steps in how to secure your matchers and how to use them towards building a successful campaign. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, share. Okay, here we go. Let me just fix this up. Okay. Allow. Okay, how to secure your matchers. Number one, why do I need matchers? What are matchers going to bring me? What do matchers have to add to the table which I don't already have? Essentially, why can't I rely and allow my entire crowdfunding campaign to be built only through the small donors? Why is it that we need to bring in matchers? So we're going to go through the steps, and here we go. So we have 3 essential steps and why matchers are so integral to a crowdfunding campaign. Number one, I want to talk to you really regarding Chabad on campus. And I like to tell this to many shluchim that I meet, how it really depends on the structure of different moises, but for Chabad on campuses, which I've been hearing a lot through talking to a lot of different Chabad on campuses, is how they mention how we have so many students, and we have and to reach out to all of our many students, I don't have a problem at all. However, reaching out to my major donors, I don't really have many major donors. I mainly have students. Now, what I want to talk about today is the vital importance for the moises, for the continuity of the organization, in having major donors involved, and essentially what Charidy is doing, it's helping you it's giving you the formula and the structure to allow major donors to get involved. It kind of has a similar appeal. So what I like to tell the shluchim is that a lot of times your main financial benefit through a charity campaign is going to be through the support of the major donors. The appeal to the masses is great and it's important. However, essentially, where you're going to see your where's the main financial benefit is going to be by using charity and using charity as a vehicle, as an avenue to bring major donors to get major donors involved. Every successful non-for-profit has to be built off the 80-20 rule is what we like to call it. 80% of your money should be donated, should be funded by 20% of your donors, and 20% of the money should come from the 80% of the donors. Now, why is that? So let's move. So moving along. So crowdfunding is not succeeding with just micro donations alone. Less than 30% of non-for-profit crowdfunding campaigns reach their goal. Failed. So motivation. So the reason why non-for-profits were having such a hard time is because, practically speaking, if we would send you out to go raise money from the masses, and you're going to go out there and you meet a lot of people, what you're going to end up finding is how you're going to need strong, substantial donations to bring in the major. You're going to need strong donations to hold your mice together, especially the masses are going to need the largest impact, which the donors, which you're going to see from your donations, which the micro donors are going to see, is going to be through the appeal, the appeal of the major donors. Who are your matchers? So number one, private philanthropists will be your matchers. Think of all your, all your balabatim who may have come into your Chabad houses, anyone who may have stopped by for the Shoshana, Yom Kippur. You got to think broad. Children of parents of students who have been who've been stopping by. Anyone, you gotta really try and work to think out of the box. To anyone who's walked through your Chabad house doors, try and use them as this ability to bring on other major donors. 2, foundations. For example, many foundations which have been matchers in the past on charity campaigns. The Avichai Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates, and Mitzvah Hashem one day will be a great matcher on many charity campaigns to come. I think a lot of times you want to try and reach out to local Jewish organizations in town. Chabad on campus today has a massive appeal to many people, and some of the local Jewish organizations in town would be great matchers. And then there's obviously corporate sponsorship, going around bringing in, and there's obviously corporate sponsorship. Why do I even need matchers? Okay. How we're matching 4X. What's a conversation? So what's a conversation I'm having with major donors? And how do I have that ability to come and approach major donors and switch the conversation? So completely change the conversation with your major donors. This fundraiser better not bore me. So one of the major fears a major donor has, there's a couple major fears which a major donor is thinking about right when you arrive. Number one, this fundraiser better not bore me with the same old ask. And is what he's telling me even true? Is there really such a demand for his product? Why should I give him at all? And why should I give him at an increase? So, one of the major problems major donors have is the sense of dependency. They don't like to feel that they're the only person involved. Yeah, correct. That's a very good question. No, so yeah, I like it. A lot of times, correct. Listen, a major donor has the ability to give more money, and he'd be more than proud to help you out. He spends a lot of money on many other excursions and on many other charities, but what we find is a lot of times he doesn't want that sense of like, am I that same loser which every time you're off Charis, you'll come to me nudging me for money. So what a charity campaign does essentially, it structures him. He understands, first of all, it's not only me. There's some other major players involved. It's not just me. And then you're going to go out and you're going to appeal to the masses. So essentially, the risk is not only on me, the risk is on, we're both coming along on the risk. Usually when you ask someone for money, it's like, you give me the money. Basically, I'm taking all the risk and you're going to go and spend the money. What we want to do with charity, the way you have to present it to the major donors is you're coming in, number one, you're telling him, first of all, thank you very much for your donations in the past. And now instead of your typical conversation, which would be something like, Rabbi, how are you? And you show him, you come in with your book of pictures, say, this is what we've been doing. Now the conversation is, and then he turns to you and says, okay, Rabbi, how much did I give you last year? Okay, I'm willing to do that again. Now the conversation, no, hold your horses. Whatever you gave me last year was great, but this year we're taking on this new ambitious campaign. You show them this is how much our budget is, or this is what we're hoping to raise, and this is what we're hoping to raise. And you say, if you would have the ability to stretch, you're asking for a larger number. You say, if you can help us out with $25,000, and I am not going to cash a check unless I manage to take your $25,000 and quadruple it and turn it into $100,000. And all of a sudden, it's like we're balancing it all out. Rabbi is taking some of the risk on him, and he feels all of a sudden comfortable. Kind of, a lot of times I find that you're making it comfortable. A lot of times it gives you that bereitkeit to walk into someone's office and really, do the full ask. You have that full-on confidence. You understand it's not only me, other people are involved. What will make him happy? So give him the ultimate challenge. If I can't quadruple your pledge by getting 3 other major donors and the entire community within 24 hours, I won't cash your check. So you're giving me, number one, the largest real financial benefit, true return on his investment. He gave you $25,000. Why? Because he loves you and he's invested within your organization, and he's giving you the money because he likes your product. You're taking his $25,000 and you're turning it into $100,000. So that's obviously just like in all matching campaigns. Second of all, it's having a large social impact. You're getting hundreds of other people, any student who's ever stepped by your Chabad house. So it's true legitimacy. Your Moised exists. You have hundreds of other supporters. They're there, they're with you. And then he's getting recognition. His name is going to be up there with all the other big movers and shakers in town who will hopefully be on your campaign, especially regarding the Chabad on Campus Charity Giving Day. It's not only Chabad on campus, but it's not only your local Chabad house, but it's hundreds of other major donors from all around the world are going to be involved as well. These are just array of some of the matchers we had on previous campaigns. Michael Steinhardt, Simon Falek, some very well-known Jewish philanthropists. You could show them, let them know what they're joining, this idea, how some great people have already been involved, and take them along on their journey. Or you can have foundations. This is an example of different foundations. These are many, many different matchers and many different campaigns. What we're finding is now we have already some major donors, which they'll only give their donations exclusively through a charity campaign. They find it's coming more and more popular. They find that this is my greatest, this is my greatest way. This is my greatest return on my investment. It's funny that a lot of people ask me when I meet different organizations, a lot of people ask me and they'll be like, aren't people getting bored of charity? Don't you think like it's going to peak and then it'll be over and then the next year, it's a nice fad. So what I always like to tell them, I say, listen, take Crown Heights as a very good example. Crown Heights is a community, starts from New York Avenue till Schenectady, from, let's say, Lefferts or East New York till Eastern Parkway or Lincoln. Yeah, it's 10 square blocks. And Charidy has done already 42 campaigns just within Crown Heights. Now, what I'm finding is when there'll be, if you look like whenever there'll be a tragedy, and you look on the comments on COL, what we see is a lot of people will be like, make a charity campaign. What's that telling us? That means that this is the way we like to give money. We appreciate giving money in this fashion. Our money gets quadrupled. Many people get involved. There's large social impact. This is how we want to do it. So it's very important when you approach donors. First of all, make it structure it very well. Let's say you're running a $100,000 campaign. So either, obviously, ideally, you'll want to get 3 major donors at $25,000, but a lot of times that's not the case, especially with Chabad and campuses. A lot of you are newer shluchim, and you should know. I just like to say, it's like I meet lots of different shluchim, and it's an unbelievable thought how literally, the longer you're on shlichus, the longer you're out there, the more. I mean, obviously, it's an obvious thing, but it's like I think you could even make a business graph of how every single year on shlichus, you'll have that ability to fundraise a larger amount. Literally, if you had, like, I'm talking to some young shluchim with very large operations, and large operation, many, they have 100 students come to the Chabad house every Shabbos. They're having a very hard time putting together matchers. You'll have older shluchim. Just eventually, the longer you're established, the longer you're there, the more trust major donors have within you. That's a mitzvah from the Welt, unless you got, extremely lucky, one extraordinary scenario. But essentially, that's the way it works. So what I would want to do is, if you're going to do such a large number, like $100,000, something in that range, you're going to want to make like slots, let's say 25, 12 and a half each. You want to get 6 people at 12 and a half each. Maybe we'll get 1 person for 25, and the rest will come in at 12 and a half each. Sell each one out. You know what I mean? Come in very organized. The more organized you are when you approach a matcher, the more he understands how this is what it is. This is how much money they need. It's very transparent. It's coherent. It's clear. There's a message. This is what we want. We don't just have this unlimited pot and just give us more money. Oh, we need it. We're drowning. Please give us money. When you come in, I would love, like, come in organized. We'll obviously help you work through. You'll be in touch with your specific fundraising specialist, and they'll help you. They'll give you the right material needed. But you come in with blocks, almost like you're selling blocks in a building. Just like when you'll do a building campaign, so you're going to sell, wall space. This is what we're doing. We're selling wall space on our fundraising campaign. So you come in, it's very clear. It's not just, Rabbi, what do you need the money for? What do I need it for? With your money, you're unlocking thousands of donations which we can bring in from different people. Matcher 1, matcher 2, matcher 3 equals success. You can bring in the whole community. These are different sample campaigns which we've ran. Baruch Hashem, we've ran close to 442 campaigns. A good view of what we've done in the past. And then obviously we built a very beautiful landing page for our matchers. We built I'll be in touch with your fundraising specialist. It's a very nice landing page. I find it's a very good way of presenting it to the matchers, letting them understand exactly what we're doing, what our goals are. You know, we've raised $35 million. This is a bit old, so we've raised $35 million in charity. We've done 440 campaigns. We have a 100% success rate. We have today we have over 75,000 donors who have given on charity. And then here's really where the magic lies. What we've found on charity campaigns is after we'll assess the organization, when we've seen their fundraising habits, what they've done in the past years, we find close to a 45% increase in donations. It's unbelievable. Especially on Chabad and campus, all of a sudden you'll be able to tap into people, anyone who's walked through your doors. So obviously you're playing these ideas on the matchers that we have 33% of first-time donors. I mean, there's a 33% of donors which you've never seen before. So even if your matcher is an old matcher, all of a sudden you're playing on him, how you're unlocking this ability for so many new people to come on board. Just your donation is now enabling us to go and reach out to the masses. I've just recently did a campaign for a shliach. You know, I was humbled. I was humbled by the campaign. It was a $150,000 campaign. And so that means the matchers had to be, I think, 112,000 or something, 112 and a half. I think it's $37,000 each year, 37,000 divided by a quarter. Out of the 112 and a half, about $95,000 was completely new money. There was one guy who was telling me he was working about a bus he was close to for a few years. He never really mustered the courage to ask him. He eventually worked up what he had to do, and he was planning on asking him for $10,000. It's a man who was capable of giving a lot more than $10,000, and he mustered the courage to ask him for $10,000. He was planning on a $10,000 ask, and then he chose to do charity. And he asked him to be a full matcher, and the guy came on board. So from $10,000, he went to $37,000. That's $27,000 increase in a potential matcher. I mean, this is how you have to. You're selling it, like I said before. You're selling them a slot on the building with their name. That's how you have to look at it, and that's how you have to approach them. Join us. Be part of us. It makes it easier for you to come in. Obviously, be in touch with your specific fundraising specialist. They'll help you. We have a lot of different tricks we work through. Just helps to have a good conversation before you meet. Helps to have a good conversation, talk it out. That's the magic. Yeah, it's better position for your future fundraising. What I like to say, besides for how the way charity is structured, our 80-20 rule, the way it's structured, it makes it much easier. It kind of forces you into that position. Charity forces you into the 80-20 position. It pushes you to get the matchers. That's why we're so strict, and we'll never allow a campaign to go live unless all the matchers have signed campaign letters. We're not here just to process donations of your middle tier donors. So that you could go to GoFundMe. What we're here to do is really help you work through and bring new people on board. And then once the campaign's over, the goal is, once the campaign is over, you are the moral impact I find the charity campaigns have are sometimes even more magical than the actual campaign. What it does to you might be the position it puts you in. Anyway, guys, it's been an absolute honor. And we'll be in touch. All the best.